Before us, there was time, and the Earth kept a diary, written in stone. Every layer, an age. Every grain, 1,000,000 years. And in the dark, a spark. The ocean exploded with impossibility. Alien, beautiful, alive. Life reached for the shore, only to be silenced. The planet's first great no. A world sterilized, but life is stubborn. From the survivors, a new dynasty. The Earth trembled beneath giants. For 150 million years, they were the masters. They had no equal, until the sky itself became the enemy. A world of ash. But in the dark, a pulse, the small, the frightened. They inherited a broken world and remade it. A new chapter of fur and ice and fang. But this whole time, the stage itself was in motion. The very ground beneath them. A slow, violent dance of creation and destruction. 4 billion years of trial and terror and survival. Every extinction, every adaptation was leading to this moment. But what if the dice had rolled differently? What if the asteroid had missed? What bizarre forms would life have taken without us? And what do you think comes next? Let me know in the comments, or do you have a different perspective? I'm reading every single one. Imagine a world, violent, a crucible of iron and fire. Here life began as nothing more than a whisper, etched into rock. Then a spark of pure innovation, tiny architects breathing light. They exhaled, and the world gasped. Oceans turned to rust, billions perished, a planetary massacre. To birth, a blue sky. But from the wreckage, a revolution. A hungry cell swallowed another. Not for destruction, but for power. A fusion, an engine. And suddenly, life was ready to race, and race it did a blink. And eyes were seeing, a shudder, and shells were born. The very first animals. Fantastical, unimaginable, the Cambrian explosion. This wasn't just evolution, it was a cosmic awakening. But what triggered such an explosion of complexity? And what other bizarre creatures once ruled these ancient seas that we'll never discover? Every one of them an ancestor, every former possibility. What do you think was the most incredible creature from this dawn of animal life? For millions of years, the land was silent, an alien world of stone and fungi waiting. Until one brave impossible step, the conquest of the land, began. New. Air-forged new masters. And the sky belonged to them, a 70-centimeter dragon, a predator ruling a forest of giants. They became a planet of superpowers, living armor, unthinkable strength, the world ending. Swarm they see in light we can only imagine. We think of this as our planet, but we are only guests. This has always been the age of insects. What is it about their design that makes them the ultimate survivors? What do you think our world would look like if they had never evolved?
For millions of years, the swamp held life captive, until one invention, the amniotic.
For 100 million years, life was a prisoner chained to the humid, oppressive swamp. An amphibian bound by its own delicate skin. It could breathe, but it could never leave. A fragile gelatinous hope, completely at the mercy of a predatory world. Survival was a gamble played in the mud. But in the shadows, a rebel. A new kind of skin-dry armored, a creature daring to step away from the water's edge. And it carried a secret. An invention that would sever the chain forever. It wasn't just an egg. It was a spaceship. A private, portable ocean. A perfect self-contained, world-sealing life safely away from the world outside. The bond was broken, the first breath of true freedom. Born not into water but into air, life had built its own armor and learned to drink the sun. From this single revolutionary Lipa dynasty would rise, the continents were now theirs to claim. The age of reptiles had begun. This one adaptation changed the future of the planet. What do you think is the single greatest invention in the history of life? And what if this leap had never happened? It began as a shiver, a simple filament, not for flight but to hold back the cold. Then an accidental gift, a clumsy fall tamed into a glide. The glide became a stroke, the stroke became power. The dynasty never ended. The dinosaur is still alive, staring back at us from the sky. What other accidents of evolution do you think changed the world? To conquer the sky, a dynasty of giants had to be unmade. Bone became hollow. weight became air. The skeleton itself redesigned for the heavens. The tearing jaw was traded for the perfect tool, a key for every lock, and then the sky fell. The world burned. The 100 million year reign was over. But the reign wasn't over. It was just small. While the great beast starved, Survivor with its feathered warmth and its powerful beak found the last scraps of life in the ash. From the edge of extinction, they exploded, filling the empty world with color and song. The dinosaurs never left. They are still here, and they are watching. In a world of giants, we were the shadows, a nervous pulse hiding waiting. But inside, a revolution, bones became new ears. Simple. Teeth became specialized tools anew. Body built to endure. For 100 million years we lived. In the dark beneath the feet of tyrants. Until their world ended. And from the Asher time began. We inherited an empty world and claimed it. But what if the asteroid had missed? Would we still be hiding in the dark? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Or do you have a different perspective? I'm reading every single one.
A new dynasty is taking command. The only mammals to achieve true flight now dominate the twilight sky.
We were the secret in the shadows when the world of giants burned. We clung to the ash, we survived, and from the ruins our age began. But what if that rock had missed? Would mammals still be hiding in the dark?
The Great Dying, the closest this planet ever came to total silence. Are we listening now?
Life had built a paradise, a world of ancient vibrant wonders until the earth began to bleed poisoning its own sky. It was the Great Dying, a slow, suffocating silence. 90% of all life erased. From the brink, life returned. But as we see our own world change, are we just watching history repeat itself? What do you think is the most urgent lesson from the Great Dying? The world began to die, not from the sky, but from within. The Earth itself unleashed a slow, unstoppable poison. A million-year fever, the planet cooked alive. The oceans turned to acid, suffocating in a toxic black soup. Even the sky shattered. The shield was gone, leaving life naked to a sterilizing sun. The Great Dying. 90% of all life erased, but in the silence a pulse life found a way. But what if it hadn't? What would our world look like if nothing had survived? Comment down below. The Great Dying left a silent, empty world. Only one survivor, inherited. The ash for millions of years, life clawed its way, back birthing a completely new dynasty. What do you think? Is the single most important trait for surviving an extinction? Let me know in the comments, or do you have a different perspective? I'm reading every single one. Seriously, every comment helps start a conversation. Every like helps the video reach new people, and every subscription means you'll be the first to see what's next. I appreciate all of you. See you in the next one.